everyone, and hope you're all well. Everybody's looking glowing today. Either you did some good work or the Creator has mercy on us. So, one way or another. Alright, so I hope you're all well. Okay, good to see you all. I was very glad to see Jose and Parazzi at the gathering of friends on Sunday. It was really, really good. Everybody here got a boost. Everybody's telling me Euro Africa. What the hell is that? What's going on? And I said, listen, man, we're connecting the continents. So everybody was really proud, very happy guys here indeed. So we were all very happy to see you on the screen. And I think it was a nice little step for all of us to take to get into the World CLI. And I think it gave everybody, also it gave you guys an idea of what it's like to be integrated to the World CLI, how to stick your head in there and be a part of all the events that are happening. So as you can see, it's not so difficult. With the virtual tools that we have, you can literally be a part of anything that we're doing. So it's very good. Well done, Jose and Parazzi. It's really, really good to see you guys there. Great. Now, as you know, we have a bit of time until September. All right. So until September, what we're going to do is we spoke with the guys a little bit, and we wanted to do a few lessons on the science of Kabbalah, because during the morning lessons, Rav does what we call TAS lessons, Talmud Eser Sefirot, which is a study of the 10 Sefirot. And it's a very, very valuable book, and we study from that book. So in order to really understand anything from it, to connect with it, we need some foundation. Okay, so obviously, the book is talking about spiritual worlds and the spiritual structures, and it's not going to be very easy for us to get our heads in there and start understanding what it's all about, or to start feeling it. But what we can definitely do is in these few weeks that we have until September, we'll definitely have a foundation. So when Rav is talking about certain concepts like the worlds, Partsufim, Sefirot, structure of the worlds, how it's all kind of coming together, then you guys won't be in the deep end. Okay, at least you'll have a few ideas of where things are coming from. And Talmud Eser Sefirot, studying the science of Kabbalah, is a process, and it takes really a lot of time, a long time, years until it settles down. So I wouldn't despair if you don't understand anything, if you think it's all airy-fairy. It's okay, because when we first started, Rav started teaching us TAS, and we're thinking, what's going on? It's like, and we don't know. It's like quantum physics to a kindergarten kid. So you get lost in there, and it's okay, because the important thing from our study is not to actually memorize or try to understand what's in the book. We want to develop a desire to attain what's written in the book in our sensations. So because we want to do that, we want to integrate ourselves into that sensation, that feeling of spirituality, that equivalence of form in bestowal. When we're studying these books, these topics, what we really need to think about is to attract the light that reforms. Okay, because, and as you know, what is the light that reforms? It's the Creator helping us out, basically, isn't it? Okay, so the light that reform means that the Creator's influence on us is more because we're studying the spiritual worlds. And if we think about Him helping us during the lesson to connect us so that we can come to bestow, so we can come to these sensations in the spiritual world together through our connection, then obviously what He's going to do is going to help us more, isn't He? Okay, and that's the whole idea. Okay, so studying the books is never about understanding what's in the book, but it's about desiring to have a connection with the Creator through the connection between us. And that's the whole gist of the story. But having said that, just like we teach our children how this world works, the Kabbalists also want to teach us how the spiritual worlds work. So they say, listen, just like there's a structure in this world, like we have the still, the vegetative, the animate, and the human, and then we have all these systems in nature, there are also systems just like here in spirituality. And in fact, everything that is here is embedded and enrooted in spirituality. So what they want to say is, if we study the roots, then we can have some kind of an illumination from there, because we want to get there. And therefore, the Creator's light will help us to start understanding spirituality. And from spirituality, then we can understand our lives here. Okay, because as you know, from the level that we're at, we can't understand the level we're in. So in order to understand our level of life here, we need to go up one level into spirituality. And that can only happen if we're a desire to receive. It can only happen if we desire it so much that the Creator will make it happen. And that's the whole idea of being created, as a desire to receive. So if we make our desire to receive a desire that the Creator wants to fulfill, then we can make this happen. And this is the whole gist, this is the whole idea, this is the whole, concept about studying these matters. All right? Okay, so this is not going to be a workshop format. When we're studying the science of Kabbalah, it can't be a workshop format at our stage, because we don't know anything about it yet. So what I'm going to do, Anthony, is I'm going to move the book here, and I'm going to move this here, okay?
Okay.
That way, because I'm going to have to draw a little bit today. So if you got books and pens and pencils and your colored pencils and your drawing books and crayons out, great. Because we're going to do some stuff maybe today, and we're going to see how we can draw it. Now we're going to read from this from Kabbalah for the Student. I hope you guys have this green book, Kabbalah for the Student. Okay, it's all green. These black parts are sellotape because we're using it so much it's falling apart. So if you got this book, great. I'd like you to open page, let me see here, page 508. Okay, page 508. In fact, we might start a little earlier. Okay, we'll start from page 504, item 8. All right? Page 504, item 8. I don't have my reading glasses today, so you'll have to bear with me if I go a little slow. If there's anything not understood, just ask, okay? Now, how many people are we today?
Currently, we have Niku, Adrian Hartwig, Parazzi, Jose, Tatiana, Therese, Adrian, Dillies, and also Marion. So we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 total.
Okay, all right, cool. So let's start. Page 504, item number 8. There is a power in the study of Torah and mitzvot. That means studying Kabbalah and studying our corrections. Okay, Torah and mitzvot means studying the actions of the light and studying our correction. This power is the spiritual force that brings a person to equalize one's desire with the Creator's desire. If I'm reading too fast, let me know, because I know there's translation happening. Okay? So let me know if I'm reading too fast. But this power appears and acts in a person only when one engages in Torah and mitzvot in order to not receive any reward for oneself. Instead, he works only to bestow contentment upon the Creator. Only on that condition does one gradually acquire equivalence of form with the Creator. So this is how we need to study this. Okay, our intention must be that we're studying only to come to bestow to the Creator, and that's what's on our mind. We're not studying for anything else. All right? Because if I study in order to receive for myself, then that kind of defeats the whole purpose. So while studying, we just think about coming to equivalence of form with the Creator so we can bestow to Him just like He bestows to us. Man's correction of equivalence of form with the Creator is gradual, generally consisting of 5 degrees: Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, Chaya, Yehidah. Each degree is considered a world, since one draws some degree in the process of his correction. He feels the Creator's existence according to the measure of his correction. These corrections are called worlds because they reveal the Creator according to one's measurement of correction. They conceal the Creator according to as yet uncorrected kilim, from the total of 613 desires. Now don't get mixed up with the terminology, alright? Because I'm going to explain all of it when we're coming through. So in the next few pages, this is just an introduction. So the article is saying there are worlds, and the worlds, the corrections are called the worlds. So as we correct ourselves, we're going up the ladder of the worlds, all right? And as we go up the ladder of the worlds, we feel the Creator. And it's saying we feel the Creator in 5 degrees. That's all. Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, Chaya, Yehida, which you guys already know about. This is nothing new, okay? Because we studied this before, didn't we? We said there are 5 worlds. Adam Kadmon, Atzilut, Bria, Yitzra, Asiya, okay? So we know this. So he just added here, hey, listen, what we do is what we feel as we go up these worlds are sensations about the Creator called Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, Chaya, and Yehida. That's all. So nothing new. You guys know this already. Okay? Still, if you don't know, let me know. And he's saying all of these steps here include all our desires, which are 613 desires. Okay? We know there are 620, but we need to take care of 613. The plus 7, the Creator will fix. Creator's job. Okay? Desires, our job, and the plus 7 is his job. Okay? That's all. So it's nothing new. It follows that one receives these 5 degrees on one's way to perfection from the 5 worlds Asiya, Yetzirah, Bria, Atzilut, ve Adam Kadmon. Within each world are 5 parts of him, and in each of them are 5 sephirot. So in each of these worlds, all right, let's take, for example, Adam Kadmon. Okay, let's say this is the world of Adam Kadmon. He's saying there are 5 parts of him. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and within each of these parts of him, there are 5 sephirot. So we divide them as well. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, good. All right, that's all. It's all nice and easy. Within each world are 5 parts of him, and in each of them are 5 sephirot, hence the total of 125 degrees. Okay, so there are 5 worlds. The reason I just put Adam Kadmon here on its own is to demonstrate, okay? Each world is like this. So Adam Kadmon, Atzilut, Bria, Yitzra, Asiya, all of them have this structure. So there are 5 worlds. Each of them have 5 parts of him, and each of them have 5 sephirot, which makes 125 degrees. So in all of the worlds, Adam Kadmon, Atzilut, Bria, Yitzra, Asiya, 5 worlds, 5 parts of him, and 5 sephirot. Okay? And this is called Jacob's ladder, from this world to the top of the ladder. So the bottom of Asiya is where we're at, okay, when we start rising. So from here all the way up to infinity, it says there are 125 steps. And in these 125 steps, we're obviously going to do these corrections for our 613 desires. So by keeping Torah and mitzvot in order to give contentment to one's maker, a person is gradually rewarded with the kilim of the desire to bestow, degree by degree. Thus one climbs the rungs one at a time, finally achieving complete equivalence of form with the Creator. At the time the thought of creation is realized in a person to receive the complete delight and wholeness that the Creator had planned for him. Additionally, one is rewarded with the greatest benefit of all, true devekut, adhesion, by having obtained the desire to bestow like the Creator. Alright, so this is all something we learned from before. So this shouldn't be any airy-fairy stuff for you guys, right? Remember we talked about phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and that's the setup, same thing he's talking about here. Item 9. Now we'll try to understand the above written. All the worlds above and below and everything within them were created for man alone. All these degrees and worlds come only to complement each desire in a person with the aim to bestow, so man would acquire equivalence of form with the Creator. This equivalence of form is absent in man by the nature of his creation. In the beginning, the worlds were restricted and the degrees cascaded degree by degree and world by world down to our material world, to come to a body of this world. This is the name Kabbalah ascribes to the will to receive for oneself. At the degree of this world, a person is like a beast, since he is incapable of any bestowal. In that state, man is opposite from the Creator, and there is no distance greater than that. So this is our situation here, okay? So this is where we are. We're okay in the animate world. So we're animals here. Okay. There we go. Animals on 2 legs. You'll have to excuse my drawing. Okay, this is our situation. And if we want to be human, we have to get up there, which is something we also know. So a person who studies Kabbalah awakens a surrounding light. Okay, and that's the tool that we need. We need to awaken the surrounding light. So in these worlds, upper worlds, there's what we call the surrounding light, and we need to be able to awaken it. Okay, so our work needs to draw this towards us. So let's read again. A person who studies Kabbalah awakens a surrounding light on oneself in proportion to one's desire for spirituality. Okay, so this is the key word I wanted to mention at the beginning of the lesson. We can only attract the light according to the proportion to one's desire for spirituality. So if I have a desire for spirituality, I get the surrounding light. If I don't, well, we've got to work on it. This is why we study, because normally, just like we don't miss a 6th finger on our hands, nobody's missing a 6th sense or a soul, okay? Because we don't miss it. So the Kabbalists are saying, well, listen, because you don't miss it, you don't want it, and because you don't want it, you're not going to get it. So they're very pragmatic guys saying, listen, if you want it, though, you can get it. So they're teaching us how to want something we don't really miss in our lives, okay? And this is the light that exists outside or around one's kli. Okay, a kli is a desire. So it's a desire or a soul, actually. All right, so this is our vessel. You can call it a kli. You can call it a desire. When it's a spiritual desire, it becomes our soul. So we need one of these guys, okay, a desire. The surrounding light corrects the kli in such a way that its intention will be to bestow. So the only thing that we need to do is we need to have a desire. So the desire has to come from us. But the light, the surrounding light, is called surrounding because we don't feel it yet. If it was in our vessel, we'd feel it. It's called the surrounding light, and we don't feel it. So we can only attract it as much as, okay, it will only enter our Kli as much as we want. And as it enters our Kli, Kabbalists are saying here, it corrects the Kli. So its influence on us starts to correct us. Okay? There we go. The intention to bestow upon the Creator and not to oneself turns an act of reception into an act of bestowal. Okay, once again, if you got the book, I'd underline that. I'll do it myself as well. Look what it says. The intention to bestow upon the Creator and not to oneself turns an act of reception into an act of bestowal. So if we want to bestow to the Creator, then all our actions, even when we receive, can be an act of bestowal. Following its nature, the Kli remains a desire to enjoy, but the aim changes the essence of the act from reception to bestowal. This is what the light is going to do. A lot of the times people say, how am I going to correct myself? I've got some good news for you. You don't have to. Okay, because the Creator is going to do that. Okay, isn't that great? We don't really have to do anything. Okay, so all we have to do is just want to get corrected, and He does everything. I mean, what could be possibly more easy than that? Okay, so a lot of people fall into this trap. How am I going to correct myself? Well, you don't have to. Just want to get corrected, and the guy will do it for you. It's his job. All right, because if he doesn't do that, he's going to be redundant, isn't he? Then the surrounding light can enter the corrected Kli with the aim to bestow upon the Creator. So we need to desire to bestow. This is the thing that belongs to us. That's what we need to develop. This is our job, and the correction is His job. It is precisely during the study of Kabbalah that the surrounding light can correct one's desires until they are worthy of receiving it as inner light. So what we're doing at the moment is receiving the light of the Creator as we study, and we want to get corrected. We want to bestow, okay? Being corrected doesn't sound so nice, so you can change it to this. We want to come to bestow, okay? So we want to bestow, and we're not capable of doing it right now. Like little kids, right? Little kids want to do something really great, but they're not capable of doing it right now because they're kids, okay? But they want to do it. So that's how we are. And as we want to come to bestowal, the Creator kind of influences us from the outside, just like we influence our children. How do our children grow? We teach them. We influence them from the outside. Okay, so the Creator is going to also influence us with the surrounding light. So this is very important. And how is He influencing us? Through the environment. Okay, so we don't see the Creator. So what does He do? He uses the environment around us, which is the group. Okay, what's the environment? It's the Rav, the books, and the friends. So He uses the environment to influence us. That's how we get wisdom in life. Just like our kids get wisdom from us, from school, from their environment. Okay, this is why we care so much about the environment for our children. We should also care about the environment for our spirituality. And then once we get corrected, then what happens is, as the book says, we're going to feel the light inside the vessel. So once we feel the light in the Kli, let's say in this degree, let me just make this a different color. Let's say here, okay, then that's going to be for us at this level, it's going to be called inner light. Okay, inner light. Ta-da, okay. So surrounding light now becomes inner light. That doesn't sound so hard. Let's carry on reading. One obtains the desire to bestow gradually, from above downwards, from a small desire, which is easier to correct, to the greatest one, following the same order by which the degrees hung down from above downwards. Now, gradually, okay, can be a bit of a time period, because kids, when they're born, are what, 2-3 kilograms of meat, right? So by the time they grow up and become something in life, where they work and look after themselves and take care of their own lives, it's like 20-30 years, isn't it? So I know a lot of people in their 30s still living with their parents. So it could be a bit of a while until a person, grows up in this world. So when Kabbalists say gradually, okay, they're obviously talking about how life works. So it's not going to happen just like that, okay? It's going to take time, just like kids grow, just like we grew up, okay? And we're still growing up. So same in this business, okay? And it depends on the person's effort. So kids go to school. Some kids study really hard. They nail all the exams and have a great summer holiday. Some kids, they don't nail the exams because they don't work hard, and their summer is like, taking back those lessons and trying to trot along with the rest of the gang. So it all depends on something called effort.
Yeah, I was one of those kids.
All right, well, join the club. Looks like we're all a bunch of losers here.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's important here is effort. The Creator knows we can't do something beyond our nature. He understands that. It's not a problem. And this is the whole idea, because if we could do it, we'd never connect with the Creator and we'd never get to the purpose of life. So the Creator specifically gives us a situation which we cannot do, but which we can ask Him to do for us, which then brings us to connection with Him, because otherwise we'd never connect with Him. Same with kids and parents. Okay, if the kids don't ask for things from us, they don't connect with us. So they have to ask for toys, they have to ask for lollipops, chocolates, and things like that. They want to play. Okay, why? Because this is how they create connection. So the Creator wants to play this game with us as well. It's the same thing. Okay, the more you advance in spirituality, the more you can learn how to get spiritual from little children. Okay, our problem is we don't remember ourselves when we were kids. Okay, because now we're grown up. Okay, but if we had remembered, we could really play this game nicely. So if you have kids, you can learn from your little kids, those 3, 4, 5-year-old kids, how to get spiritual. It's the same way. So all the degrees are measures of the desire to bestow. The ladder of degrees is arranged in such a way that the higher the degree, the further it is from the will to receive for oneself, and the closer it is to the desire to bestow. This is exactly what I drew here. Okay, so the more we advance in spirituality, this is our desire to receive, our animal. So the more we go up the ladder, we are going further and further away from our desire to receive, and we are becoming more and more bestowal. So our bestowal is increasing, our desire to receive for ourselves is decreasing. A person gradually acquires all the degrees of bestowal until one is rewarded with having only the aim to bestow without any self-reception. And that is our place here. Okay? So once we get there, to the end of our correction, it's over. It's game over. And then you're thinking, what are we going to do now? It's going to get boring. But I'm sure the Creator has thought about something for us to do as usual. At that time, a person is complete in true dvekut with the Creator. This is the purpose of creation, and man was created for that alone. This is why all the worlds and everything within them were not created for themselves, but only to assist man in climbing the ladder of degrees. So all the worlds are help to us, including this world. Okay? So we need to think about the worlds not as a place or as space or as some planet. All the worlds are everything that are happening to us, okay, in the situation we're in, so that we can get one level higher. Okay? This is why everything happens to us in life. Everything is happening to us in life just to get us, just to push us up there. So when one corrects oneself and is filled with the light, the entire system of the world and everything within them is included in him. This is what happens. So once we correct everything, this vessel that we built, okay, our soul, this character here, it becomes full of light once we attain everything. So it turns out that from a dot in the heart, okay, from a dot in the heart, a small dot in the heart, we build a kli. Okay, we're building this desire from bottom up. And then as we correct everything that's in our desire to receive, it becomes full of light. And then what can we do? We can, okay, let's do this. We can fill all the kli with the lights, okay? Number 10, okay? So all the lights, nefesh, ruach, neshama, chaya, yechida, will fill all the kli. All right, so how's that? Sounds good. Item number 10. Any questions up to here? Yeah?
Parazzi.
Are we all good? Parazzi, you got a question? Yeah, let me know. Go on, mate. Can't hear you though.
Wait, 1 second.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can.
All right, it's just a simple clarification. Before, maybe I'm getting a little bit confused. When you are saying that we are advancing towards spirituality, and in the previous lessons we've been made to understand that everything is happening in the spiritual realm that is influencing whatever we are doing here. Is this the same path where the spiritual, in the spiritual, is everything is happening in the spiritual, and we're on the corporeal level, we are also trying to advance? Is this the same route where we are saying we're going to try and drive towards?
This is how it works. Let me try to
There's a
understand.
box below.
Yes. Everything that's happening to us, okay, comes from the spiritual world. So here we are. Okay, this is us, but we also have the dot in the heart. Okay, so everything is coming from spirituality. There is none else besides him. The Creator rules everything. He does everything, and he's influencing us through the roots. Okay, so what we do in this world is this. The Creator created everything from nothing, and he gave us the dot in the heart. Once the dot in the heart awakens, I have a desire to get to know my roots. Okay? I want to know my roots. I want to know why I'm living. What's the purpose of life? Then, as I come to the group, and we start studying together in the group. This is the group. Okay? An environment. All of us here study with the dot in the heart. Okay? What then we do, every individual then has to, from this world, start rising to the spiritual worlds. Okay? Like here. And attain everything. And these are the worlds. Adam Kadmon, Atzilut, Bria, Yitzra, Asya. As we go up the ladder, what we're doing is creating ourselves from scratch, just like the Creator created reality out of nothing. So we're building spirituality from below upwards, and the Creator created this world from above downwards. And the spiritual worlds are the places where we attain how He did it. And then we understand how we can do it on the way up. Do you understand what I mean? Yeah? Okay, cool. Great. So this is why I said we need to build a desire. We need to build our first initial desire here for spirituality, our first vessel that'll get us enough, there'll be enough desire to cross this thing called the mahsom. Once we go through that, it's like a child being born in this world, and just like he grows naturally, we start to grow naturally in spirituality. All right, so the most important thing for us, therefore, is to have this desire. Desire to bestow means desire to be born in the spiritual worlds. All right, good. Now, item number 10. Anybody else with a question? Okay, you guys let me know, and Anthony will stop me. A person who knows and remembers what has been said here is permitted to study Kabbalah without any fear of materializing it. This is because studying the wisdom of Kabbalah without proper guidance confuses the learner. On the one hand, all the Sefirot and parts from the world, Atzilut to the world of Asiya, are complete godliness in unity with the Creator, and on the other hand, how can there be changes, ascents, descents, and zivugim in godliness and unity? Number 11, item number 11. From what has been explained, it is clear that all these changes, ascents, descents, restrictions, and zivugim, couplings, are discerned only with respect to the kelim of the souls that receive the light. Reality can be divided into two parts, potential and actual. This is similar to a person who wants to build a house and already has the blueprint of the house in mind. But the blueprint of the house is not like the completed house. A blueprint has been executed. This is because the thought about the house is made of conceptual substance and exists in potential. But when the house begins to emerge from thought to action, it turns into a different substance, bricks and wood. In the same manner, we should distinguish between potential and actual in the souls. The actual elicitation of souls from the Creator begins only from the world of Biriya. This is why all the changes and everything that occur prior to the world of Biriya are considered potential, without any actual distinction from the Creator. This is the reason why it is said that all the souls are included in Malchut, the Ein Sof, in the middle point of reality, since this point potentially contains all the kelim, plural for kli, of the souls that are destined to emerge in actuality from the world of Biriya downwards. And Simsum Aleph, first restriction 2, occurred in the middle point only on the potential with respect to the future souls. With respect to the souls, all the kelim of the Sefirot and worlds that emerge and hang down from the middle point after Simsum Aleph and down the world of Biriya are only in potential. When the souls begin to emerge, in fact, from the world of Biriya downwards, only then do the changes in the degrees of the worlds affect them. Important, but not difficult. What is he saying? It sounds a little complicated because we just discovered, he just told us that there are 5 worlds. And he said, well, we need to start from the bottom and go up. Okay? But now he's saying, listen, I know I said that, but actually we're all up here when we start correction. Okay? So basically he's not telling us anything different. There are 2 stages in spirituality. One is the correction of the soul. Okay, the correction. And 2 is the purpose of creation. Purpose of creation. Okay, so the correction of the soul is to change my intention from receiving to bestow. That's all. That's the correction of creation. Correction of the soul or correction of creation, it doesn't matter. And then we have the purpose of creation, which is to receive everything that the Creator has. Okay, the Creator wants to give us everything, but He wants us to receive it with an intention to bestow, so we don't feel shame, so we don't feel bad about receiving. So He's saying here in the book, listen, intention gets corrected here, and the purpose of correction gets corrected down there. That's all. Okay? That's all He's saying. First, correct your intention, which is on the spiritual world, and then the desires that pop up afterwards, we can use them in order to bestow, and then we can come to the purpose of creation. Okay, it sounds airy-fairy, but it'll settle down. Don't worry. Even if you don't understand right now, it's okay. It'll be fine. Item number 12. We're also going to talk about all these things that he's teaching us here. The first restriction, the 4 phases, and so on. So don't worry. Item 12. This is similar to a person who hides and conceals himself with clothes and coverings, so he will not be seen or noticed, but to himself he remains as he was. Thus the 10 Sefirot, Keter, Chochmah, Bina, Hesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, and Malkut are only 10 coverings that cover Ein Sof and conceal it from the souls. Okay, basically he's saying nothing different than what we learned. Keter, Chochmah, Bina, Zerampin, Malkut. And Zerampin has 6 Sefirot, which is Hesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod. That's all. So 5 worlds, 5 parts of Him, 5 lights, 5 times 5 times 5. Okay, 125. The reason he's counting 10 Sefirot and sometimes 5 is because Zerampin has 6 in it. Hesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod. Alright, that's all. The light of Ein Sof is in complete rest. Complete rest means that the Creator is acting always in bestowal. It doesn't mean the Creator is not doing anything. The Creator is always acting on us. But why do we say He's in rest? Because His attitude doesn't change. His attitude to us of love and bestowal is constant. That doesn't change. So when something like that is not changing, in spirituality it's called complete rest, perfection. Hence it shines within the coverings. But because the souls receive the light of Ein Sof through the coverings, they feel as though there are changes in the light. For this reason, the souls that receive light are divided into 10 degrees. 2, according to the division in the coverings. So the 10 Sefirot, what does Sephirah means? It comes from the word sapphire. It means something that reflects the light. So it's like I hold, you know, like sometimes you hold a light inside a prism, glass prism, and as the light goes through, it takes the colors of the rainbow, right? So the Sefirot, also as the light goes through the Sefirot, it takes a certain form. And that's what he's talking about here. So every Sefirot is like the Creator's attitude, His thoughts, his intentions, His actions on us get clothed in things that happen to us all along spirituality, and also here as well. Okay, so everything that happens to me in life, in other words, think of it as the Creator acts on me through a thing called 10 Sefirot, through a structure called 10 Sefirot. It's like us treating children. Same thing. Okay, we think about the child. Okay, then we treat them with wisdom and love, okay, or chokhmah and bina, wisdom and mercy, okay, and then from those two attitudes, we do things to them to grow them up. We play with them, we teach them, we show them things, and that's the practical application we do. So the Creator does the same thing, okay? It's not rocket science, it's the same thing, okay? So all we have to do, the Zerampin, the 6 Sefirot, is acting on Malchut, which is the desire to receive, in order to raise it to the level of Chokhmah and Bina, and from there to Keter. It's like growing children, okay? Have you, anybody got kids here? We all have kids? Yes? No? All right. If you have, okay, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't have, you know, because your parents did the same thing to you, don't you? Okay, that's how you grew up. So everybody gets to know, all right? Now then, where was I? The light of Ein Sof is in complete rest. Okay, I read that, I think. Okay, so all the coverings are only from the world of Beria downwards. Okay, this is important. So from Beria downwards, these are all the coverings. Everything down here are called coverings. Why is that? Because in the world of Atzilut, it's all light, it's all bestowal, so there's nothing to cover the Creator with. Okay, so it's logical. If we're in Atzilut, we're already bestowing like the Creator, so there's nothing to conceal. But if I'm not there yet, he's saying all the concealment are in these worlds here. Okay, so let's see. Since only from there down are there souls that receive from the 10 Sefirot through the coverings. In the worlds of Adam Kadmon and Atzilut, there is still no presence of souls, since there are only in potential. Okay, so this is called potential. And this is where we realize ourselves. Realize ourselves. Okay? Although the 10 coverings in the 10 Sefirot govern only the worlds Bia, Bria, Yitzira, Asiya, the 10 Sefirot there are considered godliness too, as prior to Simsum Aleph. The difference is only in the Kelim of the 10 Sefirot. In Ak and Atzilut, they are potential, and from Bia, the Kelim of the 10 Sefirot begin to disclose their force of concealment and covering. This is so, although the coverings inflict no change in the light itself. Number 13. So this is what happens, okay? As we go through the worlds and correct our vessel, all the changes are happening inside of us. Now, what's really interesting in spirituality is this. Let's do this. Okay. What's really interesting is this. Let's say you attain the first level. Okay. When you attain the second level, everything you attained in the first level also changes. It takes on a whole new perspective, a whole new kind of meaning. All right. So it's like becoming from 1 year old to 2 years old. All of a sudden you're 2, but because you're now 2, you can see what was happening when you were 1 year old, and it's now a whole different kind of reality for you. All right? Do you see how does it make sense? Okay, that's what it's saying here. So the vessels are constantly changing as they go up the ladder. And every time I attain, let's say, 1 degree here, everything here is also changing, because now I have a whole new understanding of everything. I'm up one more degree. So that's why it's so precious. Every degree kind of makes your whole reality completely change and become something else than what it was before in the previous level. All right, this is why spirituality is so deep. Okay, number 13. This brings up a question. If within the worlds Adam Kadmon, Atzlut, there is still no actual disclosure of the souls that receive light from the worlds, what is the purpose of the Kelim of Adam Kadmon and Atzlut? That's a good question. And towards whom do they conceal and cover the light of Ein Sof? Because this is where the light of Ein Sof is. In fact, Adam Kadmon is also known as the world of Ein Sof. Okay? In the future, the souls will rise to Adam Kadmon and Atzilut, along with the worlds Biyah, and receive light from them. Hence, changes occur in Ak and Atzilut as well, according to the qualities of the souls, as they are destined to shine to the souls that will rise to them in the future. So what we need to do is saying something very logical, nothing airy-fairy. He's saying all our desires are here. These are our vessels. This is the stuff we need to correct. When we correct all of these, he's saying this is the intention, okay? And these are the desires. He's saying once you correct your intention for all of these desires, then all of these worlds come up to infinity as well, which is logical. Okay? Makes sense, right? Okay, so nothing, see, the book is not so hard at all, but wanting to live in what it's teaching us is a whole different ballgame. So seemingly now we're understanding how spirituality works, but do we want to be in this book? Do we want to feel like we want to live what's going on in there? So our problem is not understanding the book. Our problem is, do we want to live what the book is talking about? All right? So our desire must always be, by the help of friends, and our intention before the lesson must always be to want to come to bestowal, to want to live what the book is talking about, not to know what the book is talking about. I can know what it's like to swim from a book, or to cook something from a book. Okay, you read a cookbook, you understand how it's made. You try to do it, it's a different ball game. Okay, you burn it and you put the salt not enough, the spice is not good enough, whatever. It's a different ball game. So here what we need to do is the same. In order to get to this reality, we need to want this to happen. So at the back of your minds, what you need to get used to is this when you're studying Tas, Zohar, or any material that we're studying. At the back of your mind, you must always think, what do I want from this study? Why am I studying Kabbalah? Why am I with these people? What is this study supposed to give me? Okay, because if a person doesn't think about what he wants from the study, he's not called a person. Okay, because if we don't have an intention for the action, then we're acting instinctively like an animal. So a human is one who knows why he's doing what he's doing before he does the action. All right? So before the study, we start and we keep that in mind during the study all the time. So even though I'm teaching to you guys right now, and you might not, obviously you don't see it, but even though I'm teaching, as I'm reading, I'm thinking, I hope that the light of the Creator will help all of us to connect the dots in the heart together so we can feel the Creator's bestowal amongst us and rise through the ladder of spirituality. Okay? Sounds like a long sentence to keep while you're reading and teaching at the same time. Yes, but as you study, you'll understand that when you're reading, you can keep an intention in the background. Okay? We guys can only do one thing at a time. Okay? I'm happy to say that as we grow in spirituality, you'll be able to do a few things at the same time. Okay? like our wives. On the one hand, they're cooking, they're talking on the phone, and taking care of the kids at the same time. It's like multitasking. And for us, it's just unbelievable how they get it done. Okay, but in spirituality, okay, as we go up the ladder, you'll be able to keep intention and also study and want to be in it and want to understand it in order to live in it. Okay, we want to understand it in order to feel it, to live in it. And that thought must never depart us. If it does, we won't get any surrounding light. And then I have a lot of friends saying, listen, I've been studying for years, nothing's happening. Well, he said, don't look at me. I said how to do it. This is how we learn it from the Rav. This is what the Kabbalists are saying. So don't look at me. All right? So this is very important. What time? We studied at 9:30. It's 10:30 now. So we've got half an hour. Somebody has a question.
Yeah, Hartwig had a question.
Go for it, Hartwig.
Hey guys, hi friends. So I've got a question regarding the end of correction. Let's say we finished this thing like within a year now, or 2 years, or whatever, quite fast. And now we're like in this infinite blissful place. I'm just trying to picture where I'm actually am. Like I'm floating this physical reality, like disappear. Am I just going to be floating as a conscious being? Please stop me if I'm going down imaginary road as well.
Oh, Hollywood would love you.
I love you, Hartwig.
Yeah, it's always a good question. Well, what's going to happen after Ein Sof? Well, we don't know because I'm not there yet. Okay, so I don't know. Are you there yet, mate?
Yet to get there.
No, okay,
yet to get there.
So we don't know. Okay, so I can't tell you anything about what I don't know. The Kabbalists are saying, however, beyond the correction, that there are even more phases. Okay. So I'm sure the Creator, like I said before, just a few minutes ago, that I'm sure the Creator has something in mind to keep us busy, even in Ein Sof. Okay, being the kind of creative Creator He is. So I'm sure He's got something in mind. So we don't really, we're not there. But what I can promise you is, as a person advances in spirituality, the way he starts to feel this world and this life changes a lot. And then it becomes this life becomes like a fluid. I'm not going to say not sensed, but it just loses its realness. You start to you're from South Africa, right? So you guys know how to surf with the sharks over there. So it's really like going on those ripples. It's like it's under your feet, but you're not in the water. Do you know what I mean? It becomes something like not unreal, and something real becomes something more, something you live in your sensations more rather than in your five senses. So your five senses remain, this world remains, but it's like you're living on top of that inside sensations, new sensations that you began to build. So that's how it is, and I'm sure you guys will get to feel it. It takes, like I said, it takes effort, and so it's going to take several years. Okay, think about how long it takes for our children to start talking. They're born and all they do is scream and throw their hands and legs about, okay? But as they grow, they start to make noises, sounds, and then they start to put the words together, and all of a sudden, they start talking. But you understand that it's a process. It takes a few years until they start to talk and to communicate and so forth. So it's going to be like that for us as well. But we will get there. We'll get there. All right. So about Ein Sof, final correction. I have no idea. Right. Okay. Now item number 14. It follows that the worlds initiations, changes, and degrees all relate only to the kelim. So all the changes are inside the person, which affect the souls and gauge them so that they can receive from the light of Ein Sof. But when the souls rise in degrees, they do not induce any change in the light of Ein Sof itself, since the coverings do not affect the thing being covered. Only the one who wishes to sense what is covered and receive from it. So basically we're just going to reveal what's hidden but what's already there. So this is why the Creator doesn't change. So everything it's like science and reality, right? We discover laws of nature, but they were already there. It's not like I discovered it now and it started to exist now. It started to exist now for me. So I made a change in me, and that law is now existing in me, but it was already there from the beginning of creation. Item number 15. I'm going a bit fast, okay, because I want to get us down to the 4 phases of direct light. But if there's a question, you should ask. Okay, so it's not like we're in a rush. Item 15. We should make 3 discernments in the Sephirot and parts of him, wherever they are. Atzmato, Kelim, and lights. Okay, this is important. Okay, if you don't have a book, you should write these things down. These 3 things are very important. I'll read it again. We should make 3 discernments in the Sephirot and parts of him, wherever they are. Atzmato, Kelim, and lights. All right, so these 3 things are very, very crucial for us. 1, Atzmuto. I'll write it down with you in case you don't have a book. Okay, please get a book. Do yourselves a favor. Atzmuto. The receivers have no thought or perception. Atzmuto means the Creator's essence. Okay, so Creator's essence. And this we will never know. We will never ever attain the essence of the Creator. It's not a surprise. We don't even know our own essence. How are we going to know the Creator's? Okay, you go to a guy on the street today and say, hey, what is your essence? He'll just say, okay? Because all he feels himself is meat. He'll say, me. This is me, okay? So we don't even know what our essence is. So how are we going to attain the Creator? We don't. So Atzmata is his essence, and we will never attain it. Not until I don't know what will happen after Ein Sof, okay, after the final correction, but until the final correction, we will not attain it. And this is what it says: we cannot perceive his essence. So that's rule number 1. Never forget it. Rule number 2: in the Kelim, there are always 2 opposite discernments: concealment and disclosure. First, the Kli conceals itself, so the 10 Kelim in the 10 Sephirot are the 10 degrees of concealment. But after the souls receive the same conditions as in the Kelim, these concealments become disclosures, attainments of the souls. In that state, the 2 opposite discernments in the Kelim become as one, since the measure of disclosure in the Kli is just as the measure of concealment in the Kli, and the coarser the Kli, when it hides from its Atzmato, it discloses a higher level. Okay, so you're probably thinking, what is he talking about? So am I. But let's put it into perspective. Very easy. He's saying the worlds already exist. Okay, the Creator created the worlds. They exist. Just like this world exists. As I grow up, what do? I discover this world and I live this world where? Inside my sensations, inside my feelings and understandings. So he's saying, listen, when you're going up the ladder of spirituality, it's the same thing. Here we are, we don't know anything about spirituality, but as we grow up in spirituality, okay, what are we doing? As we grow up, we're beginning to attain everything inside the worlds. Okay? As we grow up, we're attaining everything. We didn't know anything, so we were born in spirituality. Once you get born in spirituality, then as you grow up, you begin to attain all the worlds. And it's saying here, okay, all the concealment is because I haven't disclosed it yet. So as I grow up in spirituality and my vessels become more larger, okay, it means I disclose more because I can bestow more. If I can bestow more, I go up the worlds and I discover more. If I don't, I'm at that same level. Okay, but since we're all going to bestow more and more, the process is exactly this. Okay, so the text is written in such a way that when you first read it, you're thinking, oh my God, what's going on? But let's just put it into perspective, right? If you just make everything simple, it's all good. But you guys are thinking about why we're studying, right? Okay, everybody's thinking why we're studying. Yes, Mutlu. Yes, we are. Okay, yes, we do have an intention. Okay, good. Okay, because this is the only thing it works. I can make things ABC for you guys, but it won't help us if we don't think about the connection between us and how we want to connect with the Creator through the connection between us. It's just not going to work, okay? Because as you can see, everything can be very easy, 1 + 1. But if we don't think about the Creator, if we don't put Him into this game, then it's not going to work. Okay? All right then. That's what it's talking about. So those are the vessels. Okay, the kelim. And the parts of Him. Now, partsuf means a spiritual entity that can bestow. Okay, what is that? In other words, it's a soul. Soul means something that can bestow in spirituality. This is why in this world we don't have a soul, because we're not bestowing. We just have meat and flesh. All right? So in spirituality, a soul means something he can feel the Creator, and he has a mutual relationship with the Creator. And a mutual relationship means that we both have the attribute of love and bestowal. And that's called a partsuf, and that's our soul. So it must have minimum, that's the Creator, and from me it must have minimum bestowal back to the Creator. Number 3. Okay, we all good with that? Okay, good. Wait till you start reading Tas. Number 3. The lights in the Sephirot are the specific measures that should appear for the attainment of the souls. Although everything extends from Atzmato, so everything is coming from the Creator, the attainment of the light is only in the qualities of the Kli. So the light can only be attained if I correct my vessels. Okay? Hence there are necessarily 10 lights in these 10 kelim. So these are the vessels, remember? For each of the worlds. They're filled with the lights. Okay? Meaning 10 degrees of disclosure. Why is it 10 degrees of disclosure? There is no perception or attainment in Atzmato. What is revealed to us is only what reaches us from the Creator through His clothing in the kelim of the 10 Sephirot. Hence, we refer to anything we attain by the name lights. So when the lights enter the vessel, okay, so these are the lights. What are the lights that match them? Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, Chaya, and here Yehida. Okay? Are we good? Good. So we attain the lights of the Creator in our vessels as we correct our desires from a desire to receive for ourselves and change it to a desire to bestow, with an intention to bestow to the Creator. Then we can feel how the Creator is always treating us. So what happens is this. The lights actually means this is how I learn and understand and feel the Creator is treating me. It's the sensation of the Creator's attitude to me, everything He does to me. Those are the lights. And that's why it's sometimes called the names of the Creator. Sometimes they say, there are books, there's 72 names of the Creator and so on. But in fact, all our corrections, every influence that the Creator has on us, can also be the name of the Creator. But in general, He's telling us that these are the lights, okay? And the lights are felt through the Sephirot. So the Creator has a thought, the thought of the purpose of creation to do good to us. He then acts towards us, and His actions towards us are a reflection from His actions, which are the outcomes are the lights we feel. All right? Good? Yeah? Everyone's happy? Okay, if you have a full stomach, I did a really bad job. All right.
We have a question. Andrew wants to ask a question.
Go on then.
Hi, good evening. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, I just want to understand the sensations that you are talking about. I mean, the sensation that you start to develop as you get into spirituality. Can we call this sensation, I don't know, intuition, or it's something that is closer to this? Or how do you define the sensations? Or intuition is something that is based on our five senses?
Intuition here is sometimes called a gut feeling, right?
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, it's a gut feeling. I feel that this is how I should do things because this is how it really feels right to do it. Okay? It's an intuition. Intuitive, like a motherly instinct, right? A mother instinctively knows, like, the kids. Okay? She just feels them, intuitive about them. She's grasping them. She understands this thing. But it's like intuitive inside of us by nature. This is something above nature. So this is something we need to build above. So spirituality means this. I understand what the Creator is thinking. I understand why He's doing what He's doing to me. And then I justify that action. I understand exactly why He's doing it and with what intention. And fourth of all, if I was in His shoes, I'd do the same. So spirituality and attainment means that I understand exactly why He's doing what He's doing. Okay? It's clear, crystal clear. I don't have doubts, question marks. It's complete, full attainment. That's spirituality. Intuition, sometimes can lead you to make mistakes. But in spirituality, when you have an attainment of the truth, it's why it's called truth, right? Then you make no mistakes.
May I ask now, or may I continue? It's like suddenly you got some ideas from God knows where that you didn't have before, or you see a better picture in different or various aspects in your life or whatever. And then it's like, I don't know if it's called intuition, maybe I didn't name it well, but it's like you are enlightened. And I don't know if it's coming, I mean, if it's related to spirituality or it's just, I don't know, you become older and wiser.
Oh, I don't know. People get elated with many things nowadays. Okay, so I don't know what. Okay, but what we need to understand this. When we're advancing in spirituality, the Creator gives us nice sensations and feelings. Okay, he does. It's like growing a child up. He shows us every now and then. Every now and then he does us a nice little smile, and it kind of elevates us. We have a good energy, good vibe. It's called the Creator's mercy from above. He kind of like lifts you up, and it's really good to have those little sensations, because the reason we need to have those is that we should remember that we receive these spiritual highlights, let's say, before, because in the future he's going to be still loving, obviously, but he's not going to show it so much. Okay? And the reason he does this is very clear. It's very obvious why he does this, because he wants us to have a place of free will, so that we can grow on our own. Just like with our children, as they grow up, we don't hold their hands forever. So what he does is he gives us nice feelings, good sensations along the way. They're kind of like enlivening us and giving us the sensation that he's with us. And then he needs to take that sensation away, and we kind of feel down afterwards, which gives us a perfect opportunity to use our free will to start trying to walk on our own two legs again at that specific level. This is very important, because this is how the child now can build the next level of development. So in every degree that we go up, we're going to feel this little fall it's like a little kid falling on its bum when it's trying to learn to walk. We're going to have the same kind of thing, but this is like an immediate wake-up call for us, so that we can now, this is the beginning of a new level that I need to go to, and now I can use the environment to make a free choice to develop and go one step up. Okay. Now, before we attain spirituality, this feeling of elation, a good vibe, positive kind of energy inside of us every now and then to kind of push us forward is very much necessary. As we advance, but still lack attainment, okay, still not in spirituality, but we're advancing as students, the Creator will take it away completely. He'll leave us out there in the dark, but he'll give us the opportunity to create from this darkness light by using the environment. And this is the genius of the Creator. It really is. He gives the person an amazing opportunity to build him or herself from nothing. And this is why the environment is so important, because that's where you start to build yourself. So it's good that you're having these positive sensations. It's very good. It's the Creator hugging us. He's like clothing us. He's with us. He's giving us the sensation, hey, I'm with you guys. Don't worry, everything's good. But when you need to grow up a bit more, he'll say, hey, listen, you got to grow up. And then it's like a dad giving you a sour face. Okay, listen, you got to grow up. This is not happening. Okay, and then you feel it's a serious situation, and that's this is the kind of, it's so interesting as you develop in spirituality. You see, this is this game that you have with the Creator all the time, but it's only felt and it's only clear to you. It only becomes clarified to you inside the environment. This is why it's so, spirituality is an adventure. I'm not kidding. This is why the rest of corporeality can be like down here, and you're like flowing somewhere with a hovercraft on top of everything, and at the bottom things are not so felt, but at the top everything is felt in your sensations. This world just becomes something very, transient. It's just like you're really high. Okay, but then he'll bring you down again, which he has to, because once again you got to build the next level. It's a it's once you get into it, I'm sure you'll all discover that this is such a path with so many details, intricacies, ups and downs, sensations, that you can feel in a few years what people don't feel in several reincarnations. It's very intense, and it's a lot of fun if you know how to use the environment correctly. It becomes unpleasant when you disregard the environment. Then people fall off the bandwagon. People just, go off the track. The detail here, the thing that we really need to put our focus on, is just one thing. How I constantly stick my head in the environment with the right intention and just do what I can. The rest, the Creator takes care of. All the scary moments in life, all the worries, the things that normally worry people, it becomes a part of you in spiritual development, and it's like this whole world becomes, I don't know how to explain it. It's really hard to put it into words, and no wonder they're always explaining it to you in Sephirot, because it's just hard to explain. All right? But it's amazing how the Creator's genius works in such a way that He really makes you feel that you're doing this act of becoming independent on your own. And imagine us being able to do that from birth. Imagine from the moment that we're born in this world, imagine how it would be like if we had an opportunity to do everything according to how we decided it to be. And this is actually this is the opportunity He gives us in spiritual development. We'll get there. Look, guys, I'm telling you, do you want the tip of the day? Okay, the tip of the day is do your best, forget the rest. Okay.
That's the absolute truth. You see a lot of different changes when you're on this path. In a few years, you'll be able to look back and you'll be able.
Where's your mic? There
you see a lot of different things on this path. You'll be able to look back and see the progress that you've made. The strange thing is, unless you specifically focus on that progress that you've made, you won't really be able to tell how far you've come. You have to sometimes pause and look back, but you see a lot. And the most important thing, I think, is the friends and the environment around you. Having great regard for the Rav, having great regard for the friends in the books. This meeting that you have once a week is very, very important. I'm sure for some of you, it probably gets you through until the next week, and it's something that you look forward to. I was reading some of the comments here, and I can tell that a lot of you really get inspired by each other, and that's a beautiful thing, because on this path, the most important thing that you'll find, even sometimes, I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but even sometimes more than the Creator is the friends. Because behind the friends and through the friends is where you reveal the Creator. So I'll leave you with that little bit.
There we go. Right, so any questions? We've got 5 minutes to wrap things up. Hartwig, you ask a question. Guys, we're on page 508. We'll continue next week with it. So get a book if you can. Right? Yeah, go for it, Hartwig.
The Creator hugging you, understanding the Creator. It seems to me that it's like a lot of joke. There is a big recipient. So is that not what we sort of like trying to get away from? is to actually build stole instead of reception. Yeah.
Heart will come again.
Okay, so understanding the creator seems to be like being a large positive, like a big reception, and getting to know him. So it seems to me that it's kind of contradicting towards working, because now I want to work because it's so much fun. Such a joy. So, but I'm doing it because I'm receiving instead of doing it for the other reasons, is growing my soul.
Yeah, but that's how it is always. Also, look, when do we get great pleasure from our children? Okay, it's when they're kids. Okay, why? Well, because they're growing up. They're making efforts to grow up and to get to know the world. So we get a lot of pleasure out of them. Once they start growing up, you think, oh, go get yourself a job and a flat. Okay, this is how nature is. Otherwise, the kids are never going to get independent. They'll suck your blood. So what do? When they're kids, we love them, we grow them up, we're hugging them, we give them nice smiles every day and so on, because with happiness they grow. The Creator does the same to us. Okay, and also being happy is, it's part of the process. The purpose of life is to be happy. So the Creator doesn't want us to attain spirituality with a lemon face all the time. Okay? And so we need to understand that the Creator here wants us to be happy, and being happy while we're developing spirituality is, I think, very important. And Rabash also says it as well. If you're not happy developing spiritually, you can't develop. Kids need to develop from being happy. So the Creator and us, so the Creator gives us the happiness first. Then we have to start building it ourselves. Okay, and that's when the tricky part is. And a lot of people, leave at that point when exactly that's the time when they need to do something. Okay? Because we felt good, and now the Creator makes us, like kind of withdraws himself and gives us a little fall. That's exactly when he gives me the opportunity to do something, and that's when a lot of people leave. Okay? Because they think that spirituality is always being up on the clouds. No, spirituality is understanding the Creator. Like, to be like him. It's not just, like taking smoking something and feeling like on the clouds all the time. That's not spirituality. Spirituality is full comprehension of how the Creator is doing everything and why he's doing everything and why he did everything. So that's spirituality. So this buzz that we have, and we will have every now and then, right? So we'll always have this buzz moment, down moment, buzz moment, down moment. It's like going up and down all the time with the waves, and it has to be, otherwise you can't build the next level. Imagine if we're always feeling at this buzz level, right? Like Adriana is feeling nice, and imagine feeling like that all day. You'd never go to the next level. Okay, you'd never go to the next level. You just get stuck there because we're designed to receive pleasure. We'd never move. You go, oh my God, it's so cool. Yay. And that's how she'll be all day. So tomorrow the Creator has to say, listen, we've got to move you forward. So he's going to send a pinch. So she's going to start cursing tomorrow for something. Okay, that's for sure. And she's going to just go nuts about it. And then we're going to have to put her back on track, because then she's got to stick her head back into the environment, back to the study, back to dissemination, back to connection with the friends. And that's how it is. That's how it has to be. Otherwise we'd never move. She'd be like a cat in front of the fireplace with the warm milk next to her. That's it. What else do I need in life? I got the fireplace, I got warm milk. Somebody's, combing my fur.
Rub my belly.
That's it. Somebody's rubbing my belly, and that's it. You see, people can spend a life in that mode and never get anywhere because you just can't go one step higher. This is why animals don't go to the human level. Because once they find their equilibrium in nature, you can't go to the next level. So the Creator has to intentionally stick a stick in our bicycle wheel, and we just have to go head over, roll and fall, and then pick up the pieces again. And this is going to happen. You know, I'm saying it a lot, but we must understand why he does this. Otherwise you'll get lost in the ups and downs, and it'll all get blurry for you, and you'll just get depressed. So we must understand why he gives us a bad day, a bad week. Okay? It's very important. If we gave a good day to our kids every day, we would make something very stupid out of them. Imagine doing everything for your children and not giving them the opportunity to do things themselves. Okay, you doing everything for the kid can't develop the mind to do things. So the Creator has to drop us down and has to give us something to do so we can develop the next level. But everything he gives us is only for one reason: to stick our heads back into the environment. Why? Because the environment is the only place where you have freedom of choice. We have two choices in life when you have a dot in the heart. I either go after my corporeal desires, or I go after my spiritual desires. So the Creator just leaves us in the middle. So saying, listen, this is your freedom of choice. Choose which one. Only two decisions. Do I want a corporeal? Do I want to chase corporeality? Do I want to chase spirituality? That's how it is. So the environment is the only place, because we have spiritual environment and we have a corporeal environment. So where else can I go? There is nowhere else to go. This is why the choice in the environment is crucial, because in that environment I have the opportunity to build my spirituality. Or in a corporeal environment I have the possibility to build my corporeal reality. So the Creator is not going to stick his nose into that, but he's going to make sure you stick your nose into that. And how? He's going to pinch you.
It's only because he loves you.
Yeah, and he'll do it with a smile on his face, not that you'll see it.
You might not smile, but he will, definitely. You know, I was having the best day about 2 weeks ago. Best day I'd had in a long time. I got off work, I came home. I was sitting there, we were having a TENS workshop on the phone. And the thing was that we were supposed to discuss how our days went, the ups and the downs of our days. And I just got through telling my group, you know, I've had the greatest day today. Everything is wonderful. And I was just listening to the rest of them talk. Hung up the phone. About 2 minutes later, my 2-year-old son, he comes around the corner and he throws a salted roasted almond, sticks right in my eye. Right in the eye. My eye got so red, it got so big. And I said, thank you. Thank you. Now I knew exactly where it came from. So, you know, he pinches you. He just wanted me to remember that he's still there and he hadn't forgot about me. So he won't forget about any of y'all either. I promise.
All right. So, but in time you'll learn how to get, there's a saying, you need to feel the humidity of the air. Okay? And that's how you become sharper with your senses. So the Creator, when he's not going to give you a big pinch if you feel a small pinch. Because if you feel it small pinch and you're already moving, then he's good with that. But if you're not getting, you know, if you're not feeling it, he's going to have to push you harder, like with kids. Okay, same thing. You tell your kid once, he doesn't do it. The next time you tell him, you scream at him. Okay, and then he kind of, okay, you know, Dad's serious now, so he gets the message. It's the same thing, you know. All right, but we'll get very sharp in time, and we'll all get very sensitive about the things that happen. But just remember one thing: everything that happens to us is just for one thing only, so that we can stick ourselves into the group. Right, it's 5:11. We all need to hit the sack. You guys have a great day and an evening, and we'll see you guys next Tuesday. Please go over what we read. Okay, please go over what we read. A little homework for you. It's only a few pages. If you don't have the book, please get the book. All right, do yourselves a favor. Do me a favor, because I have to write otherwise. If I see that you guys don't have a book, I have to start making notes. All right, so please get the book. And we'll all flow with the book together. All the best. Have a great evening, day, wherever you are. Bye now.
Bye-bye.